Good morning, folks. It's a little bit of an early one on an odd day, I know, but obviously I've been quite busy with some personal matters over the last few days. And I'm sure some of you, and I'm thankful for this and appreciate all of the concern. Some of you are wondering how my son is doing, so I'll spend just a few minutes quickly just to kind of bring you up to speed so I don't have to tweet about it. Friday night, my son was riding his motorcycle, and he has this, I guess, ritual he does with his dogs and his girlfriend's dogs. He rides down the road and lets them chase him. And he chose not to wear his helmet. And I told you many times before, my kids, just like anyone else's kids, sometimes they don't listen. And he's an adult, but he felt it was good to take his bike up the road, real close to his house, thank God. But his stepbrother's dog actually ran out in front of him, and he panicked and all front brake over the handlebars, flew and smacked his head. And it's the same injury that everybody usually dies from when you see this one punch knockout videos, these pieces of shit that go around hitting people like that. When they fall and they hit the back of their head, that's usually the same injury he suffered. So while it's unfortunate that it happened, I'm thankful that all the other things that were around him at the time, his stepbrother seeing him, calling 911, and them getting there literally, in a very short span of time. He damaged both sides of his brain. We thought it was just one area, but he actually damaged both sides. So he has a little bit of mental fog still, and sometimes he talks a little nonsensical. But they said that stuff, should dissipate as we go. In 2 weeks, we'll have a video. I'm not a video about follow up, like the video I showed online of his brain scan, just to check to make sure that the fracture and the brain bleed has healed properly. That's about the window we're supposed to be waiting for, because there's an issue potentially always with an injury like this, that the clot that forms naturally when there's a bleed, that it doesn't break off and travel through his body and cause a dangerous episode. So if you're going to pray for him, I appreciate you if you would just keep that in prayer for him. He went home yesterday. They discharged him, and he wants to sleep a lot still, which is understandable, but he can talk and have conversations with you, and he knows pretty much what's going on, but doesn't remember the accident. So I don't remember much of mine up until a certain point, and that's normal. But I just want to spend a couple minutes and just give you an update like that and tell you all there. Thank you very much. And for the people that have always, try to square up with me online for whatever reason, the ones that had shared their concern and prayers, I appreciate that. It was a very class act. But let's talk about some market stuff, because I got to get my mind off of all this now that he's home. While I was sitting up there looking at him sleeping, I would periodically, take my attention to either Twitter or video comments, or reading other comments from people that make videos about me or what it is I teach or my students and whatnot. Or I see other gurus, other mentors in the making. They'll say things like, how long is it going to take to learn ICT stuff? I have shared something, two things actually, that allows you to go out there and literally start making profitable decisions. I'm going to say it that way. Okay. And the reason why I teach that folks it's going to take you a couple years to get good at this. That doesn't mean it's going to take you a couple years to make money, because if you follow the videos and you do the things I'm telling you to do, inside of 6 months, you literally can go out there and find consistency. Now, would it be prudent or would it be responsible of me to assume that all of you that are listening to me on these videos and lectures, that you all are going to have the same results? Obviously not. Okay, but one of the most, well, it's believed by them, uh, marketers of services, um, an alternative way of trading. There's lots of them, and I'm not saying they can't be profitable, but for the folks that want to tread into these areas that I laid down for everyone to participate in learning, to do what I can do, and you've seen the executions, you've seen how I've traded, and I can trade up, down all day long, and that type of stuff takes years. You don't need to do that. You don't need to be that good. And some of you really want to do that, but that would take years to get good at. And to make money, to go out there and start putting down paper in your bank account that's spendable, real money, not market replay reports, not demo, not funded account challenges where you can't spend that money. All those types of things, they're useful in the beginning and you have to have them. And the important factor is not that you can be exceedingly profitable in that stage. It's for you to discover what is going to hold you back. And if you try to ignore those things or pretend that they're not there, profitability will evade you no matter what you try to learn, whether it be my approach to trading, whether it be someone else's stuff, whether it be an automated thing. You'll find some way to mess it up if you have character flaws that need to be addressed. So to answer the short question, I believe that it would take someone 6 months. That's the fastest, in my opinion, the fastest way using what I've taught to find consistency. Now, you have to be an exemplary student and have some understanding before meeting me to be in that league. And I'm not setting a bar for everyone to try to, well, ICT said I got to do it in 6 months or I'm failing. No, I'm saying that it's going to take you at a minimum 6 months, because how can you back test for 3 months and then forward test at least 3 months and not have at least 6 months? Like you have to do those types of things. And while anybody can go out there and say, look at this pattern, okay, look at this pattern, or look at this thing that I got here that's going to tell you when to buy and sell. Whatever that is, it's going to have losing streaks. Everything will. If I look at um, if I look at one market and I try to trade every fluctuation, that means everything, every ebb and flow of a 1 minute chart or a 15-second chart, and let's just say I take 50 trades in a day in one trading session from the beginning of the day to the end of the trading day, and there was 50 transactions. I might have 20 losing trades in there that may not be something that you would agree on. Like, why did he take that trade? Because I'm reading actual price action and I'm trying to force myself to be in more trades that's necessary. Whereas what I try to teach my students and all of you listening is I want you to find setups that will be like the cream of the crop, the best of the best. You want that one good trade, that one good setup for your session. You're not trying to rush into any little thing that might resemble something that's either been shown by me or other people, or wait for something to start moving and you think it's confirmation. See, those things are very problematic in the beginning because you're in a hurry to learn how to make money. And you're in a hurry to be like what you see everyone else online showing these payouts and, supposedly these are the numbers they made for the day, but you're not really watching them trade. So you have to take a lot of things that people say online with a grain of salt. And now because, people are seeing me show a live account and they're not the $1,000 day and now backpedaling to let's only try to get a $750 day. These influencers, these gurus, these people that need to sell their stuff, they're going to come at you at different angles, especially after November. And while it's not my intention to try to shit on anybody and say, don't buy anybody else's service. I mean, you're welcome to do anything you want to do. But the topic is, how long do I, inner circle trader, how long do I believe it's going to take for someone to start making money? Minimum 6 months. I tell everybody that it's going to take you about a year because I want you to see a full year. I want you to see all the seasonal influences. And then what you learn from that, you're going to start building a model around how you're going to trade the following year. And in that second year, that's where your best learning is going to occur because you'll have a foundation that's been forged over a full year of seeing seasonal tendencies that come in, the factors that are going to influence you, what areas are going to entice you through greed and fear. See that's the thing that you don't realize that the influencers are hiding from you. Anyone that's trying to sell you something to get you into a service, a community that you have to pay for, a different kind of a trading approach or whatever it is, or something that's automated. Whatever it is, they're always going to take your attention away from that personal growth period because that's the thing that everybody has to wrestle with. And that is the very thing that's going to cause you to quit. If everyone that has a trading opportunity or setup or a method of trading that can be profitable, 50-50, okay? If they have a 50% chance of profitability, as long as you have sound money management, you can be wildly profitable with that. I'll go one step further. If they can be profitable 30% of the time and lose 70% of the time. Now, some of you are cringing, like, what the hell? Ain't no way. There's people out there to do it. And here's the thing, there's a lot of my students that come in wanting to learn the precision aspects that I'm teaching, and they want to mimic the consistency I'm showing, the amounts of money that you see me pulling down now, what my students are pulling down. You all want to go out there and you want to start doing it. And then when you start actually doing it and you are profitable, if you really looked at your traders' results and your stats, you're not hitting 70%. You're not hitting 60. You're not hitting 50. Sometimes you're less than 50%, but you're still profitable. But you're going to do what? You're going to put blinders on. You're going to pretend that that's not really there because, hey, I'm making money. And that's what I'm talking about. Those types of things they're growing pains. Your accuracy is going to increase over time. In 2 years, when I say it's going to take you about 2 years or more for some of you to get really good at this. Does that mean you can't be profitable before that? No. But it's a nice little marketing ploy for someone that's trying to come up as a guru. There is no substitute for experience. And you have to get the experience honestly. It can't be lent. It can't be borrowed. It can't be faked. You have to really acquire it. And when you're looking at the markets and understanding the real risks that are inherent with trading and speculation, you have to be honest with yourself and give yourself time. Treat it like a PhD level education rather, because you're executing in markets that are highly manipulated in a time when the markets and the world is totally fucked up right now. It's hard. It's very hard to filter out all the bullshit and nonsense that's going on. And if you have, like, for instance, me, you have something that happens in your life that you don't see coming, comes out of left field, and it totally messes with your head, and you can't focus. You can't trade. What do you do? Are you going to plop down and just say, well, I need to feel good about whatever it is I'm going through and be distracted by it and take trades and not follow a model, not follow a plan, and then get the results that you don't want? See, you won't understand or appreciate that coming out of a 1 week workshop or a 40-day training program, looking at yin and yang fucking symbols. None of that stuff, none of that is going to help you. Being in the charts, studying it, and discovering the weaknesses that you have, and all of us have them. I still have weaknesses that I have to wrestle. I have to subdue these things. I'm angry that this took place in my personal life. I'm angry that my son hurt himself. I'm thankful that he's still with us. And I want to go out here today and literally make $100,000 and shove it up the ass of everybody that fucking has anything to say about me. But I know that that's my anger. And I'm going to see things that I want to see. And you won't understand that in your first few months. You won't understand that about yourself in the first year. But you're sure as hell going to know about it in your second year, because you'll have a baseline to look back and say, hey, look at this. This is what I did because I journaled this, and this is what I was feeling at the time. This is what was going on in my personal life. These were my fears and my concerns, and this was my goals for that time. And I didn't hit it, and I didn't feel good about it, and it made me reckless. It made me impulsive. So fuck all these gurus bullshit. Okay, talking about how it takes too long to learn ICT. Go fuck yourself. If you don't want to learn how to do this, go play games with somebody else. Go play games with someone else. Okay, because you're still going to wreck your fucking ass doing whatever it is that they're trying to have you do. You can get lucky, folks. There's people that get lucky all the time, and they have to reset their fucking combines. They get an account and they blow it. The numbers aren't matching. It ain't the same account. They're playing in market replay. They're playing in demo. They're calling it live. It ain't. You're not seeing executions. They're pointing out a chart. They're laying over the long position or the short position thing on TradingView. That's not trades. And they're going to give you advice. They're going to tell you. These people are not millionaires. These people are not making real money. But you're going to allow them to influence you and tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tickle your ears and tell you, don't waste your time with that stuff. You can learn how to do this quicker. You know what? Quicker kills. Quicker kills. You cannot speed up proper education. You cannot speed up excellence. You cannot speed it up. It's going to come at the pace that you need and you require for yourself. And if you don't see that now, you will once you go through it. And you're going to see, looking back, how you made it harder for yourself by trying to go faster through it, because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to go through growing pains. I'm going to be traveling through my house here, so give me a couple of seconds here. My wife just woke up, and the puppies, we've been making the mistake of letting them sleep with us because they cry all night long and they want to be next to me. And I left them in there with her, and now they realize I'm not there. So now she's got to tend to them. So I'm going up to my office to hopefully have a little bit more quiet. But I was trying to get out here early enough to allow myself to talk to y'all and still be able to get what I got to get done during the day. But how long is it going to take for you to make money? Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, if you want to make $750 a day, you can go there and watch a couple of YouTube videos. It's done. You don't need some Mickey Mouse Aggle box bullshit. You don't need to join nobody's services, no communities. You sit down, turn your charts on. What's happening between 10 o'clock and 11? What's happening between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the afternoon? What's happening between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning? London session. That setup's there every day, folks. Every single day. Now, some of you want to over leverage that because you want that whole career. You want that winner's circle feeling, that moment of, yes, I'm killing it. I made it. Everybody's going to respect me. I'm going to put this on social media. I'm going to be established. You're putting all that, you're funneling all that emotion, that psychological impact that you want to have on yourself. And you're lying to yourself saying, it's the outside people, the people who are going to see me. They need to see this. No, you do. And if you feel that, you're not ready. You're not ready. You will absolutely blow your accounts. You will absolutely cause serious drawdown because you're trading for all the wrong reasons. You're not going to discover that in a 1 week, boot camp. You're not going to find that in a 40-day algo box bullshit. You're not going to find that in any other thing that tries to go quick, fast paced. You're not going to get it like that. I got lucky for 9 months. 9 months, folks. It's real easy to believe your shit don't stink after that. And then suddenly the market does what the market will do, humbles you. And it became a revenge plot. I tried everything to make what I was trying to use prior to work, and it wouldn't. And then I discovered how the markets really work. And then I discovered how I mess it up. I knew how the markets worked at some stage beyond what everybody else understands as retail. And here's a reminder. I'm putting a video out before I close up shop. It will be a very clear $5,000 reward for someone to come out there and find my stuff in writing or in video prior to 1996. I'm tired of reading all these little assholes in other people's YouTube comment sections saying it's rebranded. And motherfucker came out there one time and said, here's where the breaker is. Here is where the reaper is. Here's what he's took this from. Here's the order block. None of you know what the fucking order block is. It's not a fucking supply and demand zone. Hello. So that way I can tie up that loose string too. And by the way, Robin's Cup, where the fuck's Vinny? Vinny, where are you at, bro? You're supposed to be storming on in there. Come on, man. I ain't forgot about you, baby. Let's go. We got time. We can do this. If you want to start next year, I can do it quietly, not have to be on social media. I'll beat your ass. Let's go. Stop making all your bullshit little fucking videos and your community posts. Bring it, bitch. All this pursuit to try to make money, all these influencers are going to be coming at you harder when things get harder. When it's harder to get a dime out of their jobs, out of their sales, they're going to come at you at every angle. But where's their breadwinners? Where's their ponies? Where's the thoroughbreds in their fold that's coming out there and saying, here's what we're doing with their stuff? It's not happening. It's not happening. It's crickets. $500 payouts, $2,000 payouts, and then you don't ever hear them again. They just fade away. And that's why I preach to all of you. It's wonderful. It's wonderful for you to get that funded account combine passed and you get that little certificate and it feels great. That's a report card. That's great. You didn't do shit yet. Don't forget that. You didn't do shit yet. You just got to the dance. You just showed up. Now you got to walk and do everything and have the tug of war inside. Oh no, what if my trade doesn't pan out? Is it going to go to my stop if you even placed one? And how it feels when you're just right before your limit order is going to get filled and it goes up there and touches and just the spread between the bid and the ask won't let it fill. And it backs off 6 or 7 handles. Are you going to freak out and abandon the trade and kill it there? Or are you going to say, you know what? I'm going to stick with it. Even if it comes back against me, I'm okay because everything's not riding on this one trade. You can't learn that in 40 days about yourself. You cannot learn that in a 1-week boot camp bullshit. You have to have months of it, journaling it and discovering who you are. I swear to you, if there was a faster way of doing it, I would have already put it out there. I already would have done it. There is no other way that to learn all this stuff. If you want to learn, what it is I'm providing and producing, you don't need to know everything. Okay, and that sounds like I'm hiding something. Like, I'm not trying to give you that little edge. I saw somebody talk about how ICT doesn't teach market structure. Are you out of your fucking mind? Even the stuff that people are talking about market structure right now, that's not even market structure. Nobody, and I'm telling you, Dave, this is including you, brother. There ain't a motherfucker out there that's teaching market structure that I'm teaching. Okay, there's institutional market structure that I'm giving you small little pieces of, small little like puzzle pieces, but you have to look at them compartmentalized to understand what it is you should be looking. It's not higher, high, higher, low, and then a break of structure. That don't mean shit. Many times that's just a run on stops and it continues. And for the folks that ask questions about that, how do you know it's not a shift in market structure or running on stops? Market structure, narrative, both have to be in agreement. You're going to learn that in a week. You're going to learn that in 40 days. Fuck no, you're not. Okay. You need to see time and price over a large sample size, minimum 6 months. Minimum. Why 6 months, Michael? What's the thing? Because you're going to see at least one of the spring or fall seasonal tendencies. Think about it. You're going to see it. You're going to see one of them. And here's the thing: I have students that make their career just in spring, and once they make all their money, they're done. They don't give two shits what's going to happen the rest of the year. I have more students that do that type of style of trading in the fall. They don't do anything. They spend time doing whatever they want to do in the first spring, summer. They ain't worried about shit. And then come fall, which is what we're about to start next week, they do all their work. They run their business. They operate their whole speculation around those months. And the end of the year, they're done. They pack it in. That's it. It's over. Someone's going to say, oh, that's the stupidest thing ever. These motherfuckers are making more than you do in a year, in a week. Complainers, talkers, shit smackers. Get the fuck out of here. It's it's going to get absurd come November. Everybody's going to come in there and try to fill this void, and they're going to try to deviate your attention away from it. Don't. If you're here to learn, stay with it. Yeah, I'm not going to be here. Okay, I'm not going to be here, but I'm just reminding you that everybody is going to be jockeying, and you can see them now. They're all on Twitter. They're all trying to be that guy that's going to come in there and be the substitute teacher. You don't need a substitute teacher, folks. When I'm done and I do my last Twitter space on November 11th, my final shotgun Saturday, you'll have everything in my opinion that you'll ever need. You don't need to buy a book from me. Okay, you don't need to do that. And as a reminder, those books are just for me to place my fingerprint on it, and you'll see everybody else that heard I'm rushed out there on Amazon to make books and parrot what I said in my mentorship videos and lecture notes. They're incomplete. And I've done that on purpose. I can't write books while I was mentoring. It's too many things to worry about and juggle. Too many user groups, too many people, too many personalities. And when you try to do this for a living, hopefully you won't be caught up in the pursuit of trying to get rich too fast. Because look at whatever it is that you make at your job. I know it's not enough, even for the folks that are like surgeons in my mentorship that do very, very well. They can say they're happy with what they earn, but if they could make more, they would be very pleased to do it. So enough is never enough when it comes to earning potential. But when you're learning, when you're trying to find consistency, when you're trying to find your way through this for profitability, you got to determine a low threshold for enough. Like you have to find that for yourself and be content with that, and then stretch gently outside that boundary for the next objective that you're going to strive for. Because you don't know where that threshold is that's going to cause you to snap and you break away from rules. And there's that little sweet spot that you have to discover for yourself. Nobody has ever talked about it. Mark Douglas ain't said shit about it. No disrespect to the man. I know his book is referred to as Trader Psychology Bible. A lot of good points in it. But there's a point at which where when you go through your approach to trading, Whatever that model is, whatever that thing it is that you're using to get the buy and sell signals that's generating in your screens that tells you to do something, whether it's manually decided, discretionary trading, or if it's automated and it's generated by some kind of a, you know, EA or an algorithm that spits out something that tells you to do this or do that. Whatever it is that you're doing, when you're applying real risk to it, and you got money behind it, when that happens, your focus is going to be drawn to the results of the trade. And that transition from when you're trading with no money and you're just tape reading, you're just watching, reading price, then you're demo trading, or maybe I should say it this way, paper trading. Before you get to that stage, you want to be doing like mock backup and look at the old data, like a market replay type thing. I'm not a big fan of it. I just, you know, I have to be very careful how I say it because I know it's helped a lot of my students and they found profitability after doing exercises with those things. So in recent months, I've applied it as a step, but it's never really been a step, you know, in my teachings. And I've had profitable students, you know, without the necessary requirement of using market replay. But truth be told, if I had the access to that when I was coming up, I would have worn it out. Like I would have used it a lot. And I believe it would have helped me. But I'm an old dog. It's hard to learn, new tricks. I have a way, okay, and my way I think is superior to everybody else's, and that's the part that pisses people off. And I get it, but it'll go away in November. But you have to find that sweet spot in your execution with real money. Where do you separate yourself from following the rules of the model? Like where does that happen? What do I mean by that? Let's just, for sake of discussion here, let's just say that Brian, there is no Brian, it's just some proverbial imaginary person I'm using for the case study here, just like Carl. There is no Carl, but you all know him at work. Brian sets out to learn how to do ICT type trading. He watches videos. He really watches the videos. He doesn't just skim through them. He doesn't fall asleep. He doesn't use them as lullabies. He's going through and he's taking notes, copious amounts of notes. And then once he takes the notes, he's referring to those notes and thinking to himself, how does this apply to me? What would I do with this information? How would I really use this information? Would I be really adhering to this idea, or would I be undisciplined and ignore it? Would I be organized to have my chart set up to anticipate something happening within a 60-minute window? Would I be likely to abandon this approach or model, whatever it is that you're trying to trade with? Because I have lots of ways of using the PD arrays. Would you quickly abandon one of them to go for another one because you've watched another student? So this is what I did. And you want to do that, not knowing that what you're trying to learn can produce the same types of results too. It's just the money management aspect. That part is hard for some of you. And in fact, if I was honest, I think it's hard for most of you because you want to get to the doing, the making of the money, being part of that crowd. That crowd that has consistent, profitable traders that reside in it, whether it be my community or another, they earned it. They earned that. It's not flash in a pan. It's not over leverage, get through a combine, get funded, get lucky after losing several dozens of funded accounts and just resetting and then finally getting one. And then that's the one you're going to show online. I have students that do that. I'm not going to point them out, but they've done that. And they didn't say they lost beforehand. I wish they would have done that. That's actually more encouraging. Not just here's the receipts. Your stuff works, ICT. I already know it works. I don't need the confirmation. Other people don't need, they see it. Regardless of how many times somebody blows their combine trying to get to it. If they were honest, they'll tell you when they blew the combine or they blew their live account, funded account, let's call it that, they deviated from their model and they went rogue. They went reckless. They started doing stuff that was outside of what they should have been doing. But to say that out loud online or communicate that to me publicly, I mean, they'll say it to me in a private message in TradingView. They'll send it to me in an email that I probably won't get to forever. But they won't do it openly because they know they'll be ridiculed. And that makes this business hard, really hard, because you're trying to make it about image. You're trying to make it about money earned before you're ready to. If I was a shyster, if I was a con artist, I would have laced this stuff to make it sound like it's get rich quick. And I could have sat in here and told you, okay, it's going to go up from here and we're going to buy it here and we're going to sell it here. We're going to take our partials here. Here's where our stop is. Roll your stop here. I could do that. And a large portion of you would all think that you were good traders flexing online. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You ain't like us. Or ICT, baby. We're representing. Throwing your gang signs up. Because you would be living vicariously as a trader through what I'm providing. As a 20-year-old, that was exactly what I intended to do. Because team mentality is very, very strong when it comes to competition type things. Look at sports. I don't like sports. I don't like baseball. I don't like football. I wear a Yankee cap once in a while. I'm not a Yankee fan. I couldn't tell you one player's name on the Yankee team. For $1 billion, I couldn't tell you. I just think it's an all-American type thing, and I like the logo. But the team mentality, when you're marketing something, real strong, real strong. And I know that that is useful from a marketing standpoint. And you have fallen victim to other people that have done that, throwing materialistic things, cars and whatnot, to try to get your attention. And when I teach and when I've talked about things, and I've never ran ads, I just said, my shit's better than everything else. Come prove otherwise. And nobody has. And word of mouth, it's spread. You, in your pursuits of trading, would have been caught up in that if I just would have said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to trade this. As much as you would all love me more for doing so, all I would be doing is holding you back. I have students out there that are getting ready to cross over the $1 million net profit threshold only from YouTube. Let me say that again. I have students that are about to cross over $1 million fucking dollars in net profits, not fucking market replay, not demo dollars, not combine money, real fucking money. Where's the $1 million fucking students everywhere else? I told you, folks. I fucking told you. If you listened, you follow the rules and you learn about yourself, discover what it is it's going to cause you to go off the rails. And then you fight really hard to not do that. Everything that you're looking to do will come to you in its perfect timing. It's going to be perfectly timed when you get there and you are finding your consistently profitable model where you're never going to change anything. You're not going to change shit. You don't care. You don't care what I'm writing in a book. You don't give a shit about watching my old videos anymore. You're not going to go back and learn something a little bit more about. You're done. You found that thing, just like your job when you go to work. They expect you to do the same thing every workday, for the most part. And then if you put your time in and you prostitute yourself, you get paid out at the end of the week or every 2 weeks. How long did you submit to waiting to get that skill set to learn to do the job you're doing right now. How long did it take for you to get over that butterfly feeling of, I gotta learn this job so that way I know I'm confident that I won't be made redundant and fired? Are you thinking about trading the same way? If not, why not? That's a process. You went through and you submitted to a process with a goal in mind that was a deferred result that was not assured to you. It was not promised that you would have gainful employment. It was not promised to you. The opportunity was laid before you. Trading is just like that for all of us. Today, later today, there'll be a market driver at 8:30. You'll either not be a participant of it or you'll fall victim to it. And you'll have experience from that. All of that allows you to build more understanding about how you are going to engage with these markets. Some of you that are highly organized, highly disciplined, and it's a small portion of you because by far and large, humans are not generally those types of characteristics predominantly in any one of us, really. That's an exceptional breed. I'm not that. I had to do those things and force myself to do that because my attention is easily diverted. I have a very short attention span. I'm easily irritated, bipolar. I have all kinds of reasons that make it harder for me. And they're not fucking decisions. Okay. They're impulses that I sometimes I can't control. Once something starts happening, I gotta run after it. I gotta chase it. You're gonna discover that's probably something that you never discovered about yourself. And you can't let that occur in your trading. Otherwise, it will undermine you. It'll undermine your development. Even if you are profitable, all it takes is a small episode for that to happen. If you have no discipline, you have no self-control, and you are reckless, you can undermine a week's worth, a month, or an entire account. You can be done one day. I've let my kids trade live accounts to teach them what it feels like to watch real money. I've let them do it. I've let them do it. And one of them, 2 years ago in July, went through $42,000. I sat right there and watched them do it. Oh, that's bullshit. Who would do that? Me. I would. I want them to understand that that was real money that they went through. Buy and sell as much as you want. Do what you want to do. But understand at the end of this day, whatever you've done, this is what it cost or this is what you made. And I want you to tell me what you feel like. What's it feel like? How many of you know what it feels like to lose $42,000 in 2 hours and 15 minutes or so? Sobering, isn't it? I want all of you to respect the risk. The only way you're going to respect that risk is for you to go through this process properly, not speedy, not quickly, not if I run through it quick enough, the devil won't know I'm here. That's not how this works, man. You got to let the flames singe your ass a few times, burn the hairs off of it. And sometimes it doesn't smell good, but you'll remember it. You'll remember. Yeah, last time I traded this kind of fucking shit, I didn't use a stop loss and that thing just ran real quick. 30 handles, it just blew up against me. 30 handles. If I would have had a stop, I only would have lost 12. And by the time I got out of it, it's 30 plus against me and still running. See, in the beginning, you don't think that's ever going to happen to you. You think that's never going to happen to you. You're the exception. I thought that shit too. Until the market chapped my ass. Dozens of times. I was stubborn. It took a lot for me to learn these types of things because, if there's a guy out there that's going to crack all this stuff, it's going to be me, right? And I did a lot of things that caused me harm and pain. And you're not going to know what they are for you or when you're going to learn them. But if you're consistently applying yourself to the markets every single market day, in one capacity or another, whether it be in hindsight, because you're working, going to school or whatever, or if you're doing it live, either way, once you get to about 2 years into this, I am confident as a trader, I'm confident as an educator, I'm confident as a human being. 2 years doing something properly, you will have a baseline that you can really lean on in terms of your personal experience. I'm not fucking talking about what happened in a chart. That means what you have been doing from day one. Have you been playing around Mickey Mouse bullshit, playing in the sandbox, goofing off, buying something, selling something because you just think, well, I just feel like it's probably going to go down. That's not trading. That's gambling. That's fucking gambling. Are you looking at the chart and thinking, oh, well, if I do this, it's probably going to do that? If you're doing that, you're gambling. You have to know exactly what you're looking for. That's the reason why I teach the way I teach. That's why I'm long-winded, because this is how you make fucking money consistently, not flash in a pan. Anybody can go out there and say, here, look at this. If the moving average on the 9 EMA is above the 18 EMA, and it's been like that for the last 2 weeks on a daily chart, if the opening price tomorrow on a Monday or Tuesday gets traded below and then rallies above the opening price after 10 o'clock in the morning, if you buy the first bear value gap, you can hold that until 3 o'clock in the afternoon and be profitable. Hello, I just gave you a fucking model. And it has indicators. It has rules. Don't risk more than 1%. I guarantee you can pass combines with it. I guarantee you can quit your job. I guarantee you will be consistently profitable if you can stick to it. But can you? I can take everybody else's bullshit out there and turn it into rocket fuel. Why? Because I know how these markets work and I know me. I know me. I know when their shit's going to fail and I know when it has the probability of working. They don't. That's why they talk about things being random. Shit's random. You got to do this. You don't never know what's going to happen. The market doesn't have any rhyme or reason. That's horseshit. And you won't know that in a 40-day program. You won't learn that in a 1-week boot camp. You won't learn that in less than 6 months. You got to be around somebody that understands, obviously, the way people think, how they're going to mess things up, and have messed it up themselves and found the other side, doing it correctly, proving it can be done with real fucking money. Demo baller put his demo account away. Where's the excuses now? Where's the excuses? A lot of backpedaling. $750 daily goals. Where's the big money at? I think everybody should start doing $25,000 days. The first person that can't do it is a bitch. How about that for a challenge? How's that? Hashtag $25,000 days. First one that can't fucking do it consistently is a bitch. How's that? Let's see who the fuck really knows what's going on. I'm telling you, motherfuckers, I'm stepping out of here in November, and nobody ain't doing shit. Nobody. But you're going to listen to fools. You're going to listen to people that are fucking broke. Just discovering what it feels like to have money because they're selling something. That's the part I can't wait to get the fuck away from. It pisses me off. It makes me want to do things online that makes it look like I need the attention. I don't need the attention. I don't want the fucking attention. I can't wait to leave it. But you're going to get caught up. If you're not careful, you're going to get caught up watching some Mickey Mouse shit, listening to some dumbass fucking clown. It's going to lead you down the primrose lane, and it's going to undermine any progress that you've made right now or stifle any real proper progress. Making money is easy. It's so fucking easy. It's ridiculous. You are going to fuck it up. Like everybody else that ever does it and fails, they are the problem. But the weak-minded individuals are going to say, yeah, well, he didn't teach me this, or this thing didn't do what it was supposed to do. This indicator didn't plot it right here, and this, everything's this, that, thing. It's against me, and it's all rigged, and therefore I can't do it. It's rigged, and you can do it. That's the difference. I don't know why you people are arguing against me that there isn't an algorithm. It is absolutely an algorithm. It's advantageous for you to understand that, and when you do know that, it has parameters it has to operate within. It makes it more likely that what you think may happen is likely to happen versus some random bullshit that's going to come out of nowhere. I'm not saying that there can't be those types of things, these black swan events or over exaggerations in a market report or a data driver that comes out like 8:30 news embargo lifts and something comes out, red report, maybe an orange level report that comes out and it becomes a little bit overzealous in its delivery and price. That's intervention. That's manual intervention. You don't know when and how, what degree it's going to be impacting the market. That's the risk. That's the risk. Even with my stuff, you don't know. I don't know when Brett's going to pull up and say, hey, you know what, ICT, I saw your fucking commentary, and guess what we're going to do today? Right the other direction. But then eventually comes and goes where I want it to go. But that one day will change everybody's minds. That one day, that one little fluctuation in price, it might be a couple hundred handles, but eventually it goes where I want it to go. See, short term is intended to upset sentiment. That's what it's there for. These lower time frame fluctuations, that's not randomness. That is absolutely not randomness. It's all going in a specific manner to upset the current sentiment. And also, if there isn't any clear, discernible sentiment where it's obvious, in other words, what do I mean by that? Where the market collectively is expecting it to go down or is expecting it to go up. They'll use these short-term intraday charts to cause these real dynamic dives lower or rallies higher. And then what you'll do is you'll see that and say, oh, well, shit, I was probably wrong. Let me change course and go the other direction. Watch the YouTubers that do live streams. Listen how they talk. Watch their body language. I love that they have the courage and the balls to get out there and do that, because it's a wonderful human experiment to study how often they can convince themselves that they're absolutely right and they're wrong as shit. They are not paying attention to that aspect of their own trading. That's what holds them back. They're caught up in trying to be a YouTuber. They're trying to be a celebrity instead of someone that sits down in front of the charts at a specific time, knowing that the setup's going to be there. Wait for it. Don't anticipate it. And well, let me say it differently. Don't get ahead of it. We have to anticipate it because we're not reacting to shit. But don't try to get ahead of the setup. Don't think, oh yes, it's going to be I can trade and know there's going to be a fair value gap. I've done it before. I've taught about. I've shown examples of it in my executions. I've literally done it. But you don't need to have that. Oh, you're an asshole for not teaching it. You'll learn how to do it from experience. Reading institutional order flow. You'll know it. You'll know when that gap's going to form. You'll know where, when, and why. But see, you aren't giving yourself the chance to discover that stuff. Some of those things that you're asking me to teach you, they're things that you're going to acquire from your own exposure by doing the very thing that you're trying to avoid. Think about that. It's a paradox. You think it should be this when I'm telling you it's not that, it's this. It's literally going in there trying not to make money. Read price. Try to know where price is going to go, why it should go there from a higher time frame perspective, and submit to that idea all week long. Think about it. I've been trading a live account, folks, It's not demo, it's live. And I tell you where I thought the market was going to go and what the bias should be. And I only execute in that direction. I've done so to show you that even though it might go up 200 handles for the day, and you really, if you ain't in that first part of the move, you've missed 90% of it. I can fade that and stick with my bias. Oh, wow. So what you're saying, ICT, is do the work in trying to find and determine where the bias is. Stick to trading with that model, accept the fact that if I'm wrong or you're wrong and you get stopped out, it's part of it. But you can still find profitable trades even in up close days going short. That might happen unplanned. You don't see it coming. And that's all part of your learning curve. But over time, what's going to happen is you will get yourself aligned with the larger, higher time frame order flow, weekly and daily and 4 hour. If you trade in that direction, where is the market likely to draw to next? Where's the liquidity? Where is the inefficiencies? If you think about price like that, from weekly, daily, 4 hour, do most of your work on those charts. Spend most of your time in those 3 time frames. If you filter out the trades in those directions for where the next imbalance is or liquidity, and then you use these 1 to 5 minute or less time frames within the 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, or 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, the respective AM session, PM session, and London session. Your silver bullets are easy. They're easy, folks. You're wrestling with all this other shit. You're trying to bring everything in to a discussion. Like you can't form fit everything I've ever taught and pushing in every single fractal and price action. Every little portion of price movement, you're trying to take everything I've ever said about price and finding it in that one fractal. When it is what it should be is that you're taking a model, a run on liquidity, a displacement, a retracement back in to inefficiency with a lower level objective for sell side, while the 4 hour or the daily or the weekly, preferably all 3 are in agreement that there's something that's going to be reached for on the lower side. That, my friends, is a lead pipe sense trade. That means you're going to walk in there like you're holding a lead pipe and you're going to bash this motherfucker upside its head and it's going to pay out. And you're going to be able to shake it down and you're going to go on your merry way. And you're not going to feel any pain. It's going to be a low resistance liquidity run. It's going to be quick. It's going to run right to your target. It's going to have very little drawdown. It's not going to fuck around. It's not going to meander around. It's not going to consolidate. It's going to go right to your shit and be done. That's the type of setup you're looking for once a week. That's the shit that gets you out of work. That's your fuck you money. That's the thing that changes the entire trajectory of your life. And nobody can do shit to piss in your cornflakes because you can tell them to go fuck themselves and there ain't nothing they can do, say, or anything to change it. Every week, every day, and it won't fucking stop. That's where I'm taking you. That's the direction I'm pointing to. That's what you're trying to do by learning all this stuff. Not, I want to trade the fucking Reaper. I want to trade the silver bullet on this. I want to trade the optimal trade entry on that. And I want to do this. And I want to what the fuck? I have all that stuff, yes. But every day when I sit down, I want to go in and find a specific setup. Now, if I see something that jumps off at the time, oh yeah, I'll take that. Why wouldn't I? If you walk down the street and you have $100 bill on the sidewalk, you're going to pick up? You're going to say, fuck that. I ain't picking that up. I'll let somebody else get that. That's trash. But I'm going out there on a specific day with the intention that my one specific model I want to wait for, I know it's going to be there. See, you don't know that. You don't know them intimately enough. You haven't spent enough time with it. How well do you know your spouse? How well do you know your significant other? Some of you that know them very well, you can finish their sentences. As much as I hate that fucking shit, my wife will sometimes finish my sentences for me. And I'm like, what the hell? I don't like that. But that just goes to show that she knows me. She knows what I'm going to say. And I know before she said, I'm not going to say it out loud because I can't stand it, but I'm finishing all of my kids and her sentences before she finishes them. I know what she's going to say before she says them because I can read her face. What does that mean? I endured. I endured the relationship, all the ups and downs. Okay. I went through the process of being a good husband. So therefore, I understand her. I know how to read her tape. Okay. Well, how's this market any different? You have to be around it enough. You have to give it love, and it's going to slap you around. In the beginning, it might cheat on you because you're not giving it enough attention. That's just the way it is. But you have to stick to it. Show the market that you are faithful and you're going to be monogamous with it. You're not going to give up to sports on the weekend. You're going to study the charts. She wants to know she's loved. Okay. In deference to the ladies, he wants to know you love him. Price, when you internalize it like that, you make it meaningful. You have a relationship with it. The markets are going to be much more meaningful to you, not adversarial. Now, some of you are laughing or saying, oh, this guy's bullshit. But how many times have you said, this fucking market, fuck you? You give it the finger. You personified it there too. But what have you done? You vilified it. And now your subconscious sees every time you push that button, it's going to hurt you. See what's going on? But you never look at it that way, do you? No. Nope. Nobody's writing books like this. Nobody's sitting down and making YouTube videos about this because it sounds silly to the average person. To the lay audience, it sounds nonsensical. But we're human people. We're creatures that have emotion, and you have to wrestle these things. In finding profitability, you have to go through all this bullshit to discover what makes you tick, what pisses you off, what gets your juices flowing, what makes you hot and ready to do whatever the hell it is, and you're recklessly going out there and taking any risk. What happens if you find where you mess up and you learn to dial back your risk or don't trade at all? And you find where your model is perfect for you and you're comfortable accepting the higher level risk. I'm not saying risk high, but let's just say, for instance, your highest threshold of risk is 1.5%, and you only trade that 1.5% on those instances. And you've learned that this is what constitutes the proper alignment for that because you have done it enough to know that this is really a good setup. So you don't know what a really good setup is for a silver bullet. You don't know yet. And if you're saying you do, you don't. You just learned it. You have to spend time with it. And you also learn how it'll be an integral part of learning how you can pyramid in larger moves. Mm-hmm. Some of you are discovering your model is the silver bullet. I have students that have already entered the trade at a higher level, and they pyramided in, and then they're adding one more in that fair value gap that's the silver bullet because they know once it leaves that, Elvis has left the building. If you're not positioned, you missed it. You are chasing price then. Does that make the silver bullet trader only entering there inferior to the other traders? No. And if you think like that, you got to ask backwards. You need to pull your head out of your ass. That's not how you should be thinking about it. What fits you as a trader? What fits you? What fits your unique perspective on looking at price? And in finding a way to turn that into a cookie cutter. In the market, in price action delivery every day is the dough. And you're just going to take your cookie cutter model, silver bullet, optimal trade entry, whatever, and you're going to press it in at the right time. And you're going to pull off, and it's going to look just like you want it to for you. Do you take a star cookie cutter and press it into a rolled out sheet of dough, cookie dough or whatever, and you press it down into that dough, and it's shaped like a star in your hand, and you pull it off, and it looks like a square or it looks like a triangle? Are you expecting that? No, of course you're not. Your expectations are when you pull that cookie cutter off that dough, it's going to look like the star or very close to what the shape of that cookie cutter was. You trust it because you've pressed that into dough times before, dozens, hundreds, thousands, whatever it is. You're not putting any thought behind You know, when you do this, this is what's going to happen. That's what your trading will become. When you have a model that you stick to, that you've found that fits your unique personality, it doesn't complicate things for you. I have PD arrays that are extremely complicated that you'll never learn, but they'll make you fucking millionaires. Now, let me backpedal. The silver bullet can make you a millionaire. The optimal trade entry can make you a millionaire. Breaker can make you a millionaire. I gave you some retail nonsense earlier with the 9 and 18 moving average. When they're up, last 2 weeks or so on the daily chart, first fair value gap on the daily chart, when it trades into that, go on lower time frames, use the opening price, wait for the trade below it, then go back above the opening price. The very next fair value gap, buy that, reverse it for selling short. I need an indicator. I don't know what bias is. There you go. It's done. There ain't anything out there that's retail shit that I can't go in there and make it work like Swiss timepiece precision because I understand price. They trust their indicators. They trust this flawed logic. I don't use flawed logic. I don't. And I've proven it. My students are proving it to you. They're coming with the real money. You're going to come with your own receipts with real money. How long is it going to take for you? I don't know. But I know it ain't gonna be less than 6 months. Not consistently. Some of you can go out there and watch a video and say, oh yeah, silver, let me try it tomorrow. Try to get a funded account, pass it, get a funded account, make money with it. Might even get a couple months doing it. And then what happens is you think you figured it all out, like it happened for me. And then something will happen. You'll have a loss or a string of very small losses, which is normal in this business. It's normal to anticipate that and expect it and think nothing of it in terms of ruin. It's not ruin. It's a tax. That's all it is. It's a tax. A trader's tax is taking small losses, and they better fucking be small because if they're not small, you aren't doing your job. You're overpaying in your taxes. You only need to pay your legal amount of taxes. But like most people, they go around and they claim zero on their income taxes. And they give the government a 14 to 16 month fucking loan interest free. And they get that money back as a tax refund and they say, yeah, ooh, yeah, I got some money. You could have had that fucking money every week. But you ain't sat down and figured out what your deductions really should be. And it's an easy thing to do. It's worth it for you to sit down with the CTA and say, hey, this is what I earn. This is what it's going to be. How can I claim exemptions to where I got the maximum amount where I don't have to pay any taxes? Think about it. What would that $35 or $40 more a week do for you today? Never thought about that, did you? You got money. You got money to go into your gas tank, but you're giving it to the government in over taxation all year long. But you're submitting to that because you think that that's a fucking bonus for you surviving another work year. I'm going to get my refund like they gave you something out of their own pocket. They're giving you your own fucking money back. I got family members that go nuts when it comes time for that. I'm like, what are you thinking? You could have used that money and fucking stopped working. What the fuck are you doing? But people are going to do what people know, what they're trained to do. Everybody does it. Claim zero. You don't want to have to pay any taxes at the end of the year. Even if you had to pay a couple $100 and you did the maximum legal deductions, exemptions from from taxation, yeah, you might have to pay $200, $300. But to have all your money all year long, every paycheck, yeah, to me, that's worth it. That's fucking worth it. That's like paying insurance and not using it. You can't get that money back. When you pay car insurance and you didn't wreck your car, where's that money going? You just pissed it away. But don't have insurance and you're going to wish you had it, right? So how people look at money, how people think about money needs to change. And so many financially illiterate motherfuckers are trying to teach people how to become rich when they themselves are fucking ass broke. They have no idea what's going on with money. Buying shit because they've never had that kind of money before. I get it. I see it. But you can't do those types of things and maintain that, because it will wear you down and you'll be chasing the next thing that makes you feel good versus finding the feel good and consistently making more money, not spending it as fast as you get it or racing to get to it before you're really ready. So in closing, how long does it take to be consistently profitable in trading? My humble submission is it's going to take you 2 years to know, like the back of your hand, that you can absolutely walk into next month's market any given fucking day and leave with profits. It's going to take you a minimum of 2 years to do that. Now, you can absolutely watch my video on a silver bullet. You can absolutely watch the 2022 model 41 videos or whatever it is from last year. Submit to that, put it to practice, and you can start making money in your demo and eventually into a combine pass challenge and get into a funded account or go into live account trading. You will have losing trades. You will lose money, but you can make money just like anybody else. But don't fall victim in thinking that that is your success. One trade, one payout, one funded account passing the combine does not make a trader. How you close the end of the year, that's what matters. Are you paying taxes on your money that you traded with? Because if you're paying taxes, you're a profitable trader. If you ain't paying taxes, you ain't a fucking profitable trader. You can make all the money in the world all year long, but if you ain't closed the show with a tax bill, you ain't made shit. And that's just real talk. And how much is that tax? That really sets the stage, right? How much taxes is your guru paying in trading income? Inquiring minds want to know. So, yes, I believe that you can go out and right away make a profitable trade with what I'm teaching. Just like I believe it's possible for any of you to go out there and do anything. You can literally flip a coin. Heads you buy, tails you sell. Wait for the first 30 minutes to pass and just do that and only risk 0.25%. Do that every single day. Let your trade hold for the entire day. If you do that, you'll make more money than any guru out there selling their horse shit. Not me, of course. I got to put that caveat in there. But you could literally do very well with that. And you'll have losing trades. But you'll let your profits run all day long and you'll get the full daily range. It's simple rules, but you won't submit to it because it will not be the accuracy point that you're trying to reach too fast. How do you get a high accuracy? By knowing which ones aren't going to be as good as the others. You'll recognize what a cream of the crop trade is. You'll know. You've been there so many times. This is what it looks like. This is what it resembles. And I feel everything is moving in this direction. All of the macros, the dollar index, the bond market, seasonal tendencies, commercial hedge traders, all the factors are in one favor of going up. Well, shit. It's easy then. That's easy. But are you willing to wait for those times? Chances are you're not, because you're too impulsive right now. You're too reckless to get in there and try to do it right now, because you need to be convinced that you can make money. If you just do one trade, who gives a shit if it's gambling? If you can make money one time and get a payout one time, that will pay for my attention span. It will buy my attention. It will buy and pay for me to stay the course. Instead of saying, I don't need to make money yet because I know if I do everything I'm doing right now and learn properly, I'm going to make as much fucking money as I want to make. No one's going to tell me how much money I can make. I'm going to fucking make as much money as I want. I'm going to walk in these fucking markets any given damn day and take what the fuck I want and go home. And nobody's taking it from me. Not a fucker's going to say anything online to change it. They can't discourage you. It's the way it is. Fucking get used to it, Jack. That's the level that sounds like arrogance, but it's this fucking bone core confidence, unshakable confidence. And if it seems like arrogance and you sell something, go fuck your bitch ass. Go up the fucking road and panhandle somebody else. Because around here, we don't fucking subscribe to bullshit. Money talks, bullshit walks. If you ain't got it, don't come here. Don't come here. Because this is a really real bill. We only fucking have a population of people that fucking know what bullshit is, and we avoid it. And you have to have that. Going forward, everything that you're doing in your trading and your development, you got to filter bullshit. Filter, get that shit away. Stop wasting my fucking time. I ain't got time for your shit. All these people talking about, oh, you're brokies, you're broke, you're broke. They're clientele. Their fucking clientele are literally a vacuum of nobody coming out there and showing you anything. But they got a discount code for Labor Day. Going back to school fucking sale. They're doing more work trying to sell some bullshit than simply going out there and fucking trading. Yeah, think about it. I'm about to cross 800,000. I'll probably have it by tonight. Subscribers on YouTube, which is fucking crazy. You guys really want them books, don't you? So 800,000 people, not one advertisement, not one fucking advertisement. Why do you think they come here? They don't want to listen to me cuss and sound like a sailor. That's not what it is. Some of you probably do, but they come here because they see my stuff has changed people's financial lives. They come out and they're being interviewed by companies. They're being interviewed by prop firms, or they're doing their own YouTube channels, and they're showing what they've done with it. And I'm so honored and proud of all of you. This need to be where they are, you need to squash that. Push it down. Because you don't know where your winner circle is. You don't know what that is. And I guarantee you, it's not even close to where it really is. It's going to be so far beyond what you think right now. You think, if I can just get $100,000, man, if I can just get a six-figure income a year, I'm set. And you know, when you start doing it, it becomes like nothing. It feels like $2,000, $5,000. It feels like nothing. And when you make $250,000, $100,000 doesn't feel the same either. It's weird how you lose the sensitivity to money, and that departure, that descent from the normal way of viewing money. When that happens for you, where that happens in your trading and how much you're putting on a trade, where you lose connection, the connectivity to your model and the respective risk, wherever that is, and it's going to be uniquely different for all of you, rather. That's the part that you need to pay attention to, because if you can balance that, you won't over leverage, you won't take a loss or a series of losing trades and go on full tilt, blow your account, trying to get it back real quick, or get mad. You'll stop. You'll say, okay, I don't need to do this. I'm done. You're not trying to pander to an online community watching you live stream. You're not worried about keeping up with somebody else on Twitter and their posted results with this little screenshot, but you ain't seen them fucking trade nothing. You're not trying to keep up with the people that do coursework and sell and make lots of money, lots of fucking money selling coursework, mentorships. I've done it now, and I stopped. Who needs money? I'm just going to ask you that right now. Who the fuck needs money? Because it ain't me. And I'm talking to you from my heart, telling you exactly what it's going to take for you to win, how to be consistently a winner, how to make money, more money than you ever fucking dreamed of, but you're going to lose through the process. And you can't let these thorns on the rose that you want to hold, you can't let that thorn prick hurt you where you want to throw the rose down. It's going to hurt sometimes. You're going to grab and reach for a trade that you think is a rose, and you're going to grab a thorn. And you might bleed, but don't let go of the rose. Just let go of the risk. Don't lose sight of the model. That rose, that thing that attracts your attention like a bee for the pollen's sake, that's the model. That's your model. So in a lot of ways, I'm teaching you to wear rose petal colored glasses. Look at the market through the lens of your model. If you don't see your model, you don't fucking see shit to do anything. You can't take any risk on. And I don't give a fuck who says otherwise. Oh, well, I took a trade. ICT's guys that do this, do that, they didn't take a trade. Ha ha ha. They don't fucking know what you're doing. And the people talking that shit, I guarantee you, they got little dick syndrome. They didn't make any fucking money. They're in market replay. They ain't making shit. They're talking out their ass because they're in the stage of trying to convince themselves it's worthwhile for them to even try to continue learning how to trade. That's what social media is. Social media is a petri dish for fucking mold. And these moldy ass fucks out here that are sitting around talking about other people instead of just doing whatever it is they're supposed to be doing. If they're good at trading, do good trading. Show that. You'll make so much fucking. I'm at like $30,000 a month in ad revenue. Who the fuck can't do that? If you're a good trader, do it. Do that on Twitter. I'm sorry, on YouTube. Shit, you'll make $500,000 a year easy. I guarantee you, these fucking clowns that are talking about buy my shit, they ain't making $500,000 a year trading. And I'm stopping videos in November too. Where's my money going to come from? Because I sure as fuck ain't doing delivering pizzas. Take inventory, folks. Who's going to be having coupon codes after November? Who's asking to join this and join that? And who has your best interest? I'm talking to you with no monetization right here. My first availability to do this, I'm here talking to you. I want you to succeed. I want you to succeed. I want you to do well. I want you to do it properly. I want you to be reminded that it's going to feel like it's not the right way for you when it is. It's the right way. Everything I'm telling you to do and what to avoid, just submit to it. I promise you, the results you're looking for are small compared to where you'll go. You have no idea how far you're going to reach, how far you're going to go in this industry, how much in terms of success you're going to acquire by following a simple approach. And yes, my stuff looks at face value, it looks extremely complicated, but it's not. It's extremely precise. It's concise. It's succinct. It's exactly what you're looking for. But I have to remind you constantly that the required ingredient that has to be the highest grade ingredient is you with the proper mindset and readiness to learn. If you don't bring that here, you put shit in, you're going to get shit out. And again, it doesn't sound audience friendly. It's off-putting for people that are stuffy about themselves and think you owe me a better way of communication. I don't owe you a fucking thing. But if you want to learn how to make money, I can take you there. You can put yourself in that neighborhood and you'll be among other people they're not moving. Their property values are going up. Continuously and consistently profitable. Equity highs all the time. Every year, going up. But you can't move in that neighborhood just because you want to. When I was a younger man, and I promise this is the last thing I'm going to say, I'm closing. When I was a younger man and just got my driver's license, I used to drive up into Harford County, where I reside now, and I've been living here for a number of years. But the idea of living up here is where I wanted to move to, and I got that because my grandmother had a nice home. The people that live in it now haven't done so well maintaining it, but the area always filled with fresh air and just country life. Like it's a different feeling versus growing up in Middle River, Maryland. I wanted to be up here. And while my grandmother's house wasn't a mansion, it was a brick home. It was a 4-car garage underneath the actual house. And they had their own gas pump in the back, a lot of property for what we were used to seeing. And just a really nice, gated front area with a fountain that shot colored balls of water. To me, it was a mansion. Being a little boy, watching that, spending the night on weekends, and then growing up, I used to drive by all the time. And I said to myself, if I can ever get to become a computer programmer, which later became the goal of wanting to be a systems analyst, which later became I want to be a profitable trader, which became I want to be an entrepreneur, and I want to do this and I want to do that, and everything just kept evolving. But I'm here now, and I could be a whole lot more places and much more than this. But I'm where I'm comfortable. I'm exactly where I want to be. I want to be right where I am. I'm content. My wife's content. And you couldn't have asked me when I was younger, is this what I'd be content with? I wouldn't have been able to say, yeah, that's it. I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. And right now, you want to make money. I understand that. I trade and I want to make money. But I also know when I shouldn't. I also know when I should really push it because I know everything's in my favor and do some wild ass shit when the market just runs hundreds and hundreds of handles. I know when those things are going to occur. I know when the market's going to be stagnant and more prone to me getting stuck in a market that's not willing to move. So I'm not going to trade with a lot of risk in that environment. You don't know that yet. In your development, in your stage of understanding and price action, you don't know that yet. But you'll have that in 2 years. And you'll know the best setups to take for you as the trader within that time frame of submitting to it. Anything less than that, anyone tells you anything less than that, I promise you they are full of grade A bullshit. Period. So anyway, felt really, really nice to be able to sit down and talk with you this morning. Had to vent a little bit, and you can probably hear that in my tone. But I meant everything I said here today. I was sincere about it. Hopefully you got something from it. Hopefully it encourages you to stay the course, to stay on the grind, because what you're doing is the hardest thing in the world. And it's easy to talk yourself out of it. It's easy to ring the bell and tap out. It's easy to do that. It's real easy. But you won't be satisfied when you try to do it. You'll want to come back. So you might as well just stop wasting fucking time, roll your sleeves up. What did ICT say to do? What did ICT say not to do? These are parameters. These are rules. These are boundaries. Stay within them. What did he tell me to focus on? What did he tell me to study, back test? What did he tell me to journal? What's the purpose of that? You've been told many times. But you want it to be an instant transfer. And if you do it continuously, you will see the progress. You will see by looking at price, oh, I see that coming. And let's watch and see if it pans out. And it does. Then your confidence grows a little bit more. And you become much more intimately attached to the model that you're pursuing, whether it be Silver Bullet, the 2022 model, whatever it is. That moment when you are no longer smirking when it pans out. Okay, this is the ICT indicator, okay? If you're watching price and you think it's going to go to a specific level, whether it be an imbalance or liquidity above or below a specific high or low, and it goes there, usually that's when I go like boom, or I'll put a little smiley face as a tweet to y'all. That's me prodding you to go into the chart and look at something specific at that time. It creates an emotional stimuli at that moment. Otherwise, you would either not pay attention to it. It means nothing to you. Now, because as a community, we all recognize it and we're like, yeah, high five, there it is. It did it again. It did it again. Well, when you start seeing these things happen that you anticipate, and you're not even smirking, the corners of your mouth are not even tugging at the slightest bit, you're devoid of emotion. That moment right there then you're ready for live account trading. That's the indicator that tells you you've done it so many times. You're absolutely fucking bored by it. You're not stirred to do some crazy demo leverage trade and show the results and claim it's real. You're not trying to get to the very next trade because this one did exactly what you thought it was going to do. You're completely devoid of all emotion. You're not hurrying up looking for the next setup. That is the person with the proper mindset that knows their model, that follows it, anticipates it, sees it, tracks it through price action, and has absolutely zero fucks given about taking it immediately the next day or wishing they had it in real money. You are now dialed the fuck in. And nothing but yourself can take you out of that. Not one distraction, not one bullshit artist online, not one person competing to get your attention for clicks, for future sales or mentorship or community bullshit. None of that will distract you because you have now found your place and bloom where you're planted. Don't try to take more from me and try to sprinkle it on. Stay with it with its most simplest format. If it works, use all the heavy lifting that's done by proper money management. 10 handles changes the whole trajectory of your life for NASDAQ. 20 fucking is amazing. 30, it's just a matter of time you're a millionaire. 5 handles starting as an S&P trader replaces your job. 10 handles in that, phenomenal. 15 handles in that, matter of time you're a millionaire. It's math, folks. That's all this is. It's math. But you can't place in that algebra expression you in a unfavorable state of mind and make it work. It doesn't work. You'll fuck it all up. You're going to be the cog in the wheel that needs to be replaced. Everything else is ready to go. Everything else is state of the art, but you're coming in there like an analog in something digital. And it doesn't plug in. So you have to upgrade. You have to allow yourself to get the hell out of the way. Refine yourself, remove all emotion, remove all psychological influence over what you're trying to make or what you're afraid of losing, and only focus on what price should be doing based on your model and submit to that. And that is how you hold on to winning trades and not get, oh, yeah, I got out too soon. I should have did this, I should have that, because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know your model and you're too emotional. You care too much about the open profits becoming less. I was up $3,000 on that trade and it came back and I just couldn't hold it anymore. I got to get out at 1,800. And then it went 9,000. If I just would have held on to it. How do you fix that? I just talked about it. You have to know your model. What did you get into the trade for? Has it been changed? Did something underlyingly change in the market, in that trade setup, that causes you to abort it? If that has not happened, why the fuck are you closing it? Why are you closing it? How did I teach you how to navigate that? You're trying to learn how to be profitable. You want to learn how to make money. Okay, great. Are you feeling the tug of war inside? You feeling, oh, I gotta get out. I gotta get out. Take something off. But I can't. I only have one. I have only one account, one contract on ICT. Then close it and be content with the idea that you're closing it and you're going to monitor it the rest of the way and you're going to stay with it live. You're not going to look at it later on. You're going to look at it live and you're going to condition yourself just like that. And over time, you'll hold it a little bit more. You'll hold it a little bit longer in that uncomfortable point, just like repetitions with weights. Just add another small plate. Just add another repetition. Just fight it going down in the negatives. Your growth and muscle growth is not in the actual curling up with the bicep in dumbbell curls or barbell curls. It's the slow, controlled descent. It's the resistance of seeing things go back to normal. See, you want to run away and go back to normal working the fucking 9 to 5 with Carl. See, that's normal for you. Your mind says, go back to that, go back to that. But you got to resist that shit. And when you do resist it, you're fucking going to grow. And it's going to come with growing pains. And don't think it's something that shouldn't be happening. It's normal. Expect it, desire it, want it, because it's progress. Everybody else is going to be bitch slapping themselves and saying, I got to quit. I got to get out of this. It's too hard. This guy talks too much. Get the fuck out of here. Go down to romper room fucking mentorship. They'll teach all kinds of nonsense. But you have stepped into an area here where I'm not going to sugarcoat shit for you. I'm going to tell you exactly what it's going to be like. I've already warned you ahead of time. It's hard. It's going to fucking feel like you want to quit, but you stick your fucking heels in and you dig them in. And you just say, bring it, bitch. I'm not going anywhere. And experience will carry you wherever you want to go. But if you come in half-assed, let's just see if it works. If that's the mindset, you come in with, you're the very person that's going to quit at the easiest time where just a little bit of adversity comes in. Oh, this is fake. Really? Look around, folks. Look around. It's undeniable. It fucking works. Works real good. It's real profitable. It makes real money. Not just in my hands, a lot of other people out there in different walks of life, different countries. It's just something that you can't use as a crutch to say, I can't do it or it doesn't work, because that whole excuse now has been removed. And it takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to stick to this, because the outcome is emotional. If you make money, that's an emotional feeling. If you're not used to making $1,000 in one day, if you're not used to making $10,000 in a week, if you're not used to making 50 grand inside of 4 weeks, if you're not used to making $200,000 in 6 weeks, I can imagine it would be very emotional for you. And when you lose $1, that's $1 that you just bought more doubt with. But $1 spent in doubt has a whole fucking lot more influence than making $1,000 when it's right. You'll spend more time caring about the fact that you lost that $1 than making the $1,000 in real money. Don't believe me? Wait till it happens for you. Nobody blows their account when they make $1,000. When they have a model that says they're done, it's impossible for them to blow their account. But everybody that's trying to do something that they don't know very well, they go in, they anticipate the setup before it's really there, and they get in before it should really be executed. And they think to themselves, oh, God, I did this. And now you care more about the improper execution, and you lost sight of where price should be going and how it should behave. And you close the trade because you can't handle the pressure, and you lose a little bit. That's that $1 spent purchasing doubt. And now what's it going to do? That little bitty loss, that little fucking paper cut, that little prick on the thorn of that rose that you wanted to carry home, drew some blood. Man, this pisses me off. I got to fix this. Let me get in here and do this, and just got to get it back real quick, and then do something else, something stupid, something so trivial as that. That's exactly what blows your fucking account, because it starts this whole chain reaction. You got to fix something that was not in a position that needed to be fixed. Nothing's broken. You just did something incorrectly. Stop. Reassess everything. Wait. How long is it going to take for you to be profitable? How long is it going to take for you to make money trading? I don't know. How long is it going to take for you to fix that shit? Some of you right now might be smiling and shaking your head thinking, yep, he just fucking pegged me right there. And the ones that aren't going to be surviving in this are the ones that are cringing and saying, talk about something else. Talk about something else, because I've just landed right on your ass. And you don't see it as a problem. You think that you'll figure it out doing that same shit. Well, here's what you're going to figure out. You're going to figure out that you did it wrong. You're going to figure out that you're undisciplined, you're unteachable, and you're stubborn. And you're going to be fucking struggling forever until you fix that. It can be corrected, but you have to stop thinking like that. If a loss comes, accept it. Okay. Is there something for me to trade right now? If there is, I have to trade with less leverage. Done. Simple. How hard is that? 2 losing trades in one session stops you. What's a session? Whatever it is. If it's in the same 24-hour period, from midnight New York to the close at 5 p.m. the next day in New York, that's your full thing. If you have 2 losing trades in that period, you fucking cannot. You are not given permission to take another fucking trade until midnight comes again. Pray tell, how the fuck are you going to blow your account? How are you going to do that? You think about this stuff every single time you failed your combine, or you lost your funded account, or you blew your account. You think about it all the time. After it happens, you think, I could have been there if I just would have did this. If I just would have stopped. You're fucking right. So how long is it going to take for you to make money trading? How long is it going to take for you to learn how to be consistently profitable? How long is it going to take for you to learn that lesson? How many times have I taught it? How many times have I talked about it? How many times have I bitched and preached on it? And still students get on Twitter and complain to me, yeah, this blew my account today. All of the trades that blew the account that day. That should never happen. That should never happen. So what's the problem here? Reckless abandonment, absolutely zero money management. Zero, zilch. It's fucking not present. So what's the problem with that person? They're impulsive, they're reckless, they're undisciplined, and they have no appreciation for risk, and they have no risk model. So you can have a trade model, but what's your risk model? How do you assess risk? How do you manage risk? How do you navigate a trade? When do you move your stop loss? How do you manage open profits if you feel the tug of war inside? I've been teaching all that stuff, folks. But it goes in one ear, out the other for some of you. And when you send tweets to me, tell me, yeah, I blew my account today. I lost control of myself and I did stupid stuff. Right. So yes, that happened. I agree. You messed it up. But that's not your career. You got fired from your job as a trader with that account. You're never going to get another job. If you lost your job right now, whatever the fuck it is that you're doing, whatever that job is that you can't stand doing anyway, but you needed to eat. If you lost your job, you're going to say, fuck it, I'm not going to get another one. I'm not getting another job. Fuck that shit. I might lose that one too. I mean, I'm not going to do that. No, of course not. An asshole thinks like that. You're going to go out immediately putting resumes out there trying to find another job. What are you doing? You're submitting to the process. Do you know that you're going to have a fucking job at the end of the month? No, but you're sticking to it, aren't you? Why? Because you fucking have to do it that way, because that's the process too. Because they don't come knocking on your door. Hey, Brian. Hey, man. You there? Listen, buddy. Listen, I heard the bad news. You just got fucking canned. It's a sad situation. But I'm here to bring you good news. I'm here to give you another job. You ready? That's not how it works. But that's exactly the mindset you think that trading should be. Like, everybody owes you something. Everybody's going to bend their fucking ass over and say, here, give it to us. Come on, man. Park it up here. No. That's not how this works. It's war. And you will lose, and you will bleed, and you will feel regret, and you'll have all those things that you have to wrestle with. But when you go into this with a proper mindset that you've conditioned yourself to be a fucking homicidal psychopath, we have zero emotion. You're in there to take from everybody. Give nothing. But even the best gunslinger, even John Wick himself, gets hit by cars more times than is realistic, but still, nonetheless, great cinematic entertainment. But you're going to get hurt sometimes. What's the process? You have to stick to it. You got to stick to it. You got to be able to see the end result. If you can't see it, you won't stick with it. And everything is temporary. Every little difficulty, every little thing that you think is a big mountain in your path right now, it's not. It's not. It's just time that you have to continuously do these things. Then you'll see, oh yeah, I can see these things forming before they happen. I'm seeing it happen in the chart. It's real time. I'm watching. It's going to be there. And then boom, it does exactly what I was expecting to do. There's stages in this engagement that you have to submit to. And each one has its own unique little characteristics that's going to make you feel much more empowered than you really are at that time, and overconfident. And that overconfidence is what rushes people into, I'm ready to do a funded account combine and pass it. I'm ready to get a funded account. I'm ready to put real money into an account and trade it, when you're not. That's all I'm doing when I say it's going to take you 2 years to get really good at this. Get good at it, meaning you can't be influenced. You know what you're looking for. You know exactly what you're looking for. You know how you're going to engage it. You're not going to be upset about it. If you have a losing trade, you're going to maybe try one more, but with less risk on. And if you take a loss there, you're stopping, and you're going to go and do whatever you want to do the rest of the day, and you're not going to feel bad about it. You're not going to regret it. You're not going to beat yourself up about it. But you lose one little opportunity, whether you take the trade or if you missed it, you're beating yourself up. You're bitching about it on social media. You're arguing with your spouse. You're kicking your dog. You come to work with an attitude because you got to look at Carl's fucking mug, and you're sitting there thinking, if I just would have had a real account and did that trade that I was too afraid to even do with a demo account. What are you doing? You're feeding yourself toxic horseshit. That's what you're doing. Everything I tell you not to do in these long-winded fucking diatribes, I'm telling you, don't do those things. And who's doing it? You, Buster. And then bitching about why you can't figure it out. I did all this stuff, folks. I did all these things to myself, and I literally caused the longest learning curve that could have been 1/4 of the time. Emotions, they're real. The psychological effects on this stuff, it's real. I didn't hide it from you. I talk about it all the time. And Mr. Douglas in his book isn't going to scratch the surface of what you're really going to fucking feel and what you're going to want to do and how it's going to cause you to be reckless. Who cares if I blow this account? I'll just pay the $50 for a reset. Well, try that with a live account. Try that with a real $50,000 account. Try that with a real $100,000 or $150,000 account. Doesn't work like that, folks. You have to trade it like it's just like that. If you don't, just wait around. You're submitting to a process, and the outcome is you'll blow it. It's just a matter of time. Or you could be one of the apt pupils here and listen to good advice, sound logic that works, that comes with real profits behind it, with receipts. And not just my own, other people from different walks of life that finally submitted to it. And every time, if you ask them or hear them in an interview, they always say what they were doing in the beginning. That was many times what I've told all of you not to do. And they spend more time doing the things they shouldn't be doing and less time doing the things I told them to do. And they're paying for doubt. Those dollar losses, those small, little, insignificant losses that you care more about because it's a little nick, little paper cut. Your mind's not ready to be a trader if you worry about that kind of stuff. You'll never have the wherewithal to be in a trade, know you're offside, kill it, regardless if you're in profit or loss, and reverse the other way. That will never happen for you if you're listening, if you care about every single losing trade. If you care about it, and you lose sleep over it and you beat yourself up about it, there's no fucking way you're going to be able to trade like that. But you want to trade like me. You're skipping over all kinds of things that need to be learned, thinking that you're going to be the exception. You are not the exception. And you need to be reminded today that it's normal for you to learn just like this. It's optimal for you to learn just like this. There's no better place for your learning and development than how I'm putting you through it. This is exactly the best of the best. This is it. This is Top Gun level fucking shit. When you're done with me, you're a fucking ace fighter jet player. You're in there. You're able to do it. And every process will be ingrained in you. You're not going to stop and think, what do I should do? You're just going to do it. You've been trained to do it. This is what you're supposed to be thinking. This is what you're not focusing on. You don't look at the fucking profit and loss on your fucking screen when you're trading. That should not be on your fucking account. That should not be on your fucking screen. You should not be watching that. If you're watching that, you're watching the fluctuations of profit and loss, and you're feeling, oh, this is really good. If it could just go to 2,000, come on, go to 2,000. If you're fucking looking at that, you're not watching the fucking candlestick form. You're not watching delivery of price. You're watching the ticker of the up and down profit loss. That's it. That's all you're watching. And you don't make money looking at that. The only thing that does is causes you to be emotional and have the influence of psychological impact of that number changing up or down against you. Take it off your fucking chart. Trade your trade without that shit there. Then when you're done, guess what? That number is going to reflect what you did. Trust me, it's going to show you what the fuck you did. If you did everything right, well done. And if you didn't do it right, it's going to be there. And it's still not good for you to have it on your chart while you're in a trade. Now, I do that shit because people want to see it. They like that. But when you watch the video and you're just looking at that, and you didn't watch the price delivery of the candlesticks as I'm watching the chart and I'm managing my stop loss, if you're not doing that, you wasted your fucking time. Who gives a fuck what song I played? You wasted your time watching that. There's a right way to do this. And I'm teaching you in the long-winded discussions how not to waste your fucking time. And you can't say I'm doing it for ad revenue because I'm doing it here, demonetized. And I'm letting dozens of people out there take it and put it in their own fucking YouTube channel and monetize it. How much better do I have to make it plainer that I want to see you succeed? I'm not making any fucking money off of me talking to you. None. Not one fucking penny. You're not going to see anybody else out here doing that. They're too busy trying to fucking hawk their bullshit. They need their money. They need that shit. I don't need it. So this is the end of today's discussion. I haven't eaten in about 19 hours or so, almost 19 hours. So I'm a little bit hungry. You probably heard my stomach talking to you. So I'm going to escape. I'm going to wish you all a very pleasant day. And thank you again as a reminder. I've not been able to obviously read everyone's tweet. I know it's a lot of them, but I did listen to Kit's Twitter space where everybody that came in. That was very emotional and very appreciated. And my family is very thankful for all of you that did that. And when Cody's in a better state where he can appreciate it and hear it and understand what he's hearing, I will be playing it with him. I'll sit with it again as a second listening. So be safe. Have a good trading week. And until I talk to you next time, be safe.